My chest pounds, not from slaying dragons, but from the grind of real life. Deadlines, decision, the low hum of modern chaos. My doctor didn't prescribe pills or meditation, she prescribed a hobby. So naturally, I chose the most immersive, escapist, and frankly absurd option. Fishing, not in nature, in World of Warcraft. 1 hour, one rod, one pixelated pond. Can digital waters calm a stormy brain, or am I just trading spreadsheets for sagefish? I'm not a CEO or a surgeon, just a guy trying to adult without combusting. Stress levels relentless. Even picking a YouTube channel feels like a moral crisis. At my last checkup, my doctor hit me with phrases like chronically elevated cortisol and you need to chill before you quantum leap into another dimension. I nodded like I might try yoga. Truth, I was picturing an ever-increasing pile of spreadsheets due. Then it hit me. Wow. I've battled beasts, slayed monsters and hoarded hats. But fishing, that sounds calming. Still, what if clicking a bobber in Azeroth could actually unknot my brain? This isn't just another descent into a gaming abyss. It's an experiment. 1 hour from the moment the lure hits the water, the clock starts. The rules, level up fishing, crack some based jokes, dodge the gold sellers, and most importantly, calm down. Will I emerge as Zen monk or just a guy who spent an hour pretending that fish matter? The timer's running, let's fish for peace, or at least a moment of quiet in the chaos. Character loaded. Ruthran village. The water shimmers. Night elf architecture glows like it's trying to whisper, hey, breathe. I open my character sheet. Fishing skill, noob. Rock bottom, just like my stress levels. Confirmed by my doctor with the kind of cheer usually reserved for birthday cards. I equipped the cheapest rod in town. It looks like it would lose a fight with a mildly irritated tadpole. Deep breath, first cast, splush. Now we wait and try not to think about that email or the 3 others or the existential dread that comes free with adulthood. A few casts in and I've hooked a fish. Tiny, insignificant, barely qualifies as aquatic life, but it's mine. Skill level 30. I'm basically a master angler now. Somebody call Nat Pagel. To celebrate, I splurge on a slightly less flimsy pole. It whispers, you're still stressed, but now you're stylish. Because as every fisherman knows, it's not about skill, it's about having the biggest stick. That's joke number 1. It's awful. Mission accomplished. My stress, still lurking, but now it smells faintly of trout and misplaced optimism. The next stretch is a blur. Cast, wait, click, sometimes a fish, sometimes nothing, sometimes existential dread. The repetition is relentless. Is it soothing or is it just numbing? Hard to tell, but the scenery, that's something special. Moon-soaked ripples, whispering leaves. It's like nature's trying to apologize for the grind. And this whole process reminds me of some jokes. Why don't undead fish in Orgrimmar? Because they prefer their seafood decomposed. I don't know, I kind of want to cry now. So much for relaxing, guys. This is this is just making me want to cry. Alright, what did the Tauren fisherman say when he caught a rare fish? Holy cow. Oh, the stakes are high, guys. The stakes are high. Would you like an udder one? Oh my goodness, these are good. Why do night elves make great anglers? Because they always fish under the moonlight. These jokes are rough, but I think it's helping. Comedy really helps the pain. The rhythm settles in. Cast, wait, click. It's almost hypnotic. Or maybe I'm just sleep deprived and bonding with the fish. I've caught so much mackerel, I think they're organising a coup in my inventory. Who is this guy? Oh wow, we hit skill level 50 and I didn't even notice. I must be super relaxed. We have just unlocked some new bait. Night crawlers. This must be peak relaxation, right? Talking to yourself about digital fishing lures while your stress quietly loiters in the background like an unpaid intern. It's still there, that little gremlin of tension, but maybe, just maybe, it's loosened its grip. Or maybe I'm just dazzled by the shiny baubles. Journeyman fishing, another milestone. I feel a ridiculous surge of pride. Honestly, this belongs in my resume. Proficient in digital angling, exceptional click timing under pressure. I have decided to switch things up, a change of scenery. Maybe Serenity has a better signal in Darnassus. The waters here are still, bridges curve like brush strokes. It's a world away from the usual monster slaying chaos. There's something meditative about these quiet city waters. I whisper to no one, even if the one thing I'm catching is frogs. To be fair, I'm getting lost in the click cast repeat. I'm awakened from my trance by an invitation to join the Gold Sellers Guild. That's a resounding no from me, and back to the fishing grind I go. 100. Fishing skill 100. I have become a digital demigod of the rod. I might not be cured of stress, but I'm definitely catching pixelated fish with divine precision. To celebrate, I splurge on fancy new lures. Bright baubles, the creativity in naming, truly luminous. My shoulders feel looser, like the tension's been reeled out, one cast at a time. Is this actually working? I'm feeling pretty pleased with my newfound fishing prowess, and with a backpack full of fish, I head to the auction house. There it is, the book that will set me apart from other fishers. I can't even use it yet. My skill's not high enough, but I buy it anyway. Classic MMO logic. Buy first, figure out if you can actually use it later. It's either an investment in future tranquility or a monument to my poor impulse control. Or maybe a bit of both. I feel good with myself. I have hatched a grand plan. Get to Darkshore. I heard the fish there bite like mad under the moonlight, but I arrive just in time to watch the boat sail off without me. But that's not going to stop me. I take a quick swim and head over to the flight master. This is my chance to spot the best fishing locations from the sky. The flight gives me a chance to breathe and still my thoughts in preparation for my next stage of this journey. I touch down in Darkshore, slightly damp and smelling of seaweed, and that's when we meet him, Gobberblump, the dwarf with a passion for shrimp. He tells me that he has a fishing rod for us if we retrieve some elusive fish. So we get stuck in, and with my new fishing skill, it doesn't take long to get him what he wants. So armed with my new fishing rod and time to spare, I set my sights on new lands and adventure for more fish. The waters of Astronar feel different, wilder, moodier, like they've seen things. I cast my line, success, a bristle-whisker catfish. My 60 minutes of fishing is nearly up, but with each new fish feels like a small victory, a microdose of dopamine. Honestly, it's starting to feel less like a grind and more like therapy, even if it's therapy where you fill your bag with edible frogs. The thick forest air and the rhythm of the lake's waves, the occasional mournful howl, it's atmospheric, and maybe I am relaxing. Maybe it is working. The timer hits 0. I reel in my last catch, another frog. One final deep breath or a sigh of relief. I am now 100 skill levels in fishing higher, and I have a book to expand my knowledge later. So the big question, am I cured? Did 60 minutes of intense digital angling banish my stress with a flick of a rod? Let's look at the evidence. Clams, frogs, and fish in abundance, even 2 battered chests. Some absolutely terrible jokes, but how do I feel? I haven't achieved nirvana, but the knots in my shoulders have loosened. For an hour, I wasn't thinking about deadlines, bills, or how tense my jaw is. Merely, my thoughts were on using nightcrawlers or baubles for my next catch, focused on one thing, the splash of my lure. Something simple, something with a clear and immediate reward. Before logging off, I do one last thing. I head to the nearest campfire and dust off my cooking skill, neglected like my fishing was an hour ago. There's a simple, almost primal satisfaction in seeing the results of your work, even if that work involved clicking a mouse and the results are pixelated snacks that give my virtual self a minor buff. As the fish sizzle, I think. Maybe it's not about fishing itself. Maybe it's about the act of fishing. The deliberate slowing down, the single-minded focus on a low-stakes task, the gentle repetition. It's a kind of active meditation, a way to force your brain to take a break from the usual chaos and just be. In a world that demands our attention in 1,000 directions, dedicating an hour to something so unproductive, so delightfully pointless, felt almost rebellious. And yeah, I'd say it was relaxing. So, did WoW fishing cure my stress? No. My problems are still out there, waiting patiently for me to log back into reality. But for 1 hour, it was a genuine escape. A quiet little digital island in the middle of a very noisy mental ocean. And now, I am ready to take on life's challenges head first. My doctor said to find a relaxing hobby. And you know what? I think I might have actually stumbled onto one in the unlikeliest of places. Maybe it wasn't a cure, but it was a surprisingly decent treatment. The ultimate 60-minute test delivered. A little bit of calm, a lot of fish, and the realization that sometimes the silliest things bring the most unexpected peace. What about you? What weird game things do you do to de-stress? Or what's your go-to hobby when the world gets too loud? Share them below and maybe your insights will help another player out. Until next time, keep your lines tight and may your bobbers always dip.